Hello, my name is Christopher Renstrom, and I want to welcome you to my weekly horoscope predictions for February 5th to February 11th, 2024. Now, the theme for this week is break down or break through. Now, I imagine some of you out there are going, heavens to Betsy, Christopher, what do you mean by this breakdown or breakthrough? You make it sound so catastrophic. Well, it's not catastrophic, not really, but what I do want to do is pay homage to the fact that the Sun is forming a square to Uranus, the planet of revolution and change this week, and that is always a very volatile and unpredictable combination. Now, these squares between Sun and Uranus take place twice a year. They take place in January and in August. So basically, you can remember winter and summer. And they have been biannual events, taking place twice a year events, since 2019. Now, what does a Sun and Uranus square do? Well, what a Sun and Uranus square does is turn everything in your life upside down or inside out. In fact, the best way to think of a Sun-Uranus square is as a Mercury retrograde on steroids. So, does that mean like everything is going to go to hell in a handbasket? No, not necessarily. But what I do want you to keep in mind is that as we get close to the February 8th placement, there is a Sun-Uranus square taking place right before a new moon in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And so this new moon basically takes away the light in the sky. So when you have this energy of light diminishing in the sky, and then the Sun-Uranus square taking place, that can sort of leave you open to surprise revelations, unexpected twists, and something being thrown at you from out of left field. And because it's hidden by the dark of the moon, which is what the new moon stands for, it's something that you want to keep your eye out for so that you don't wind up getting blindsided. So with this Sun-Uranus square that's taking place, as I said before at the beginning, it's either going to come across in your life as a breakdown or a breakthrough. And I imagine some of you are like, well, do I get a third choice? Like, not neither of them? But no, it's going to be either breakdown or breakthrough. Now, should a situation in your life break down, the positive side to this is that this might be the only way that you can escape a rut or a difficult situation that you've been in that's been weighing down on you for weeks or even perhaps months. So sometimes when we feel stuck in a situation, it's only by something breaking down that we feel a release and a subsequent release. And if it's a breakthrough, well, if it's a breakthrough, you can consider this payback for all those upset apple carts you've been picking up after for the past few years. Hello, Virgo. On February 5th, your ruling planet Mercury will form a conjunction to Pluto in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. This is bound to make you feel overlooked and even taken for granted because of the position of where these stars are taking place in your solar horoscope. Now, feeling taken for granted or even neglected is a bit of a trigger for Virgos, and it's a trigger that is years, if not centuries old. Virgos resent being taken for granted. Virgos resent being neglected. And so these feelings of resentment and frustration are going to well up inside of you from a very deep, hidden place. And whenever we're talking about conjunctions to Pluto, we're talking about deep, hidden places and pockets, like pockets of resentment. So all of this comes boiling on up. But before you get icily silent, or before it comes out in sort of aggressive criticism, I want you to take a moment and to reflect. I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, are you perhaps complicit in this in some sort of way? Now, that's already a charged question, so I want to break that down a little bit there for you. What I mean by complicit is basically this. Virgos tend to be very shy about their accomplishments, okay? As a zodiac sign, you're very accomplished. You work very hard and you have the results to show for it. But when it comes to broadcasting yourself, when it comes to advertising yourself, when it comes to talking about all the things you have done, not as a series of grievances, but as really trophies on the shelf, things that should be acknowledged and recognized on their own. This gets you very squeamish, and this gets you very nervous, and this gets you very uncomfortable. You would really rather that other people recognize this, not that you have to sort of trundle on out your trophies and your accomplishments. It feels like you're going begging for flattery. Okay, so this is something that makes you feel very, very uncomfortable. You don't want to do something like this. But what you might have done without knowing is that your modesty and your discomfort with attention being shown to you might have signaled to people that this makes you uncomfortable. And so they go on to the next idea. They might say, good job, and move on to the next idea like it's no big deal, because maybe perhaps in some way you broadcast that it's no big deal. So what's the resolution to this? Well, are you supposed to turn into a Leo? Huzzah! This is what I've done? No. But I think if you can give people in your life a cue, which is simply taking pride in your accomplishments, if you can let yourself take pride in your accomplishments, what you will find is that other people will take pride in your accomplishments as well.